So now I'm going to evaluate her in supine. So one thing that I first do when I evaluate a patient is first I connect myself, I center myself, I connect with my inner physician, her inner physician, and I listen with, the first thing I want to do is listen with my eyes, listen with my ears, and listen with my hands, okay? And this evaluation is not only giving me information on her musculoskeletal system, but it's also giving me information if I need to work on an emotional level, a spiritual level. Things will start coming up as I evaluate her. I'm going to do this video in steps so that we can see many aspects of the evaluation. So once I connect myself, I hold her ankles, and the first thing I do is do a bilateral traction. And I'm feeling what's going on, where I feel lines of tension, where I feel that it's not moving. I can already see something, a lot of things are happening in her shoulder, in her neck. Also, you know, if I do it too quickly, I already go to her neck. But if I do it slowly, I can check things that are going on in her ankle. Then I'm going to check the weight of her leg. You know, I want to see if there's any lymph issues of fluid being retained. Then I do the other side. Then I hold one of her legs, and I'm going to put it in my belly, and I'm going to do a compression and a distraction. I'm going to do it very slowly, wait, and then I'm going to do a contraction or a traction. And what I want to feel again is, are there, when I feel the lines of tensions, where do they take me? And if I feel, are there any shears on that lines of tension? When I feel that she's stuck, when I'm doing the traction, if I see any dysfunctions, lesions, we'll see what her body is trying to tell me, where she needs help. I learned this technique in the total body balancing from Kerry D'Ambrosio, and what he taught me was that when you do this evaluation, when you do once or twice, it's an evaluation, and when you do it more than 2 or 3 times, it becomes a treatment. So in my practice, I continuously do evaluation, treatment, evaluation, and treatment. Again, I do a little bit of internal rotation to lock the ankle, the knee, the hip, and then I do a compression, and I go all the way to see an attraction. Again, very slowly, I go into a compression and a traction. Okay, so that's giving me a lot of information to work with her. Now, what I'm going to do is evaluate. I'm going to hook my hands on her ASIS, And I'm going to measure if there is any discrepancies, if they're symmetrical. Remember always to use your dominant eye, that it goes to her midline, okay? And I put my hands on her ASIS, I hook, and then I bring them together to see if there is a symmetry or they're not symmetrical. That will give me information for an upslip or a downslip. But she's symmetrical, so she's okay. The next, I'm going to put my hand on her, again, on her ASIS, and I'm going to put my fingers towards her umbilicus. And if there would be, they're symmetrical at this moment, so that will, if it were positive, it will show me for an out flare or an in flare. If she would have had a if there would have been, let's pretend that here my finger goes to her belly button and the other one has a discrepancy. It could be indication of an out flare on this side or an in flare on this side. But I don't know which one it is. So what I do is a squish test. And a squish test is for me to, at her hips, I'm going to press posteriorly and medially on her hip. The side that is stuck, that doesn't move, is the hypomobile side. That's the side of dysfunction. So I feel a little bit more hypomobile on her left side. So it's not like letting me go down as with this one. Okay, so that is again an indication for me that something is going on her sacrum. Okay, now I'm going to continue my evaluation up. So I'm checking this is more a visceral evaluation from Jean-Pierre Barral, when I did a general listening, a local listening, and then I'm going to go and evaluate more right now her upper region.